everybody at Beyond Words podcast. I am Manmeet and I have Oksana with me.
Hello. So yeah, today episode number 15 and our topic love is ... So first of all, although we use this cartoon with the couple, of course, it's quite open, the topic. So we're not limiting it to a couple. It's actually also, it can be a family, it can be animals. So any kind of expression of love, and this is like just what we want to discuss, like what makes love being love and not something else. And so maybe Manmeet, you try and fill the blank with the first thing that comes to your mind. If you say love is,
Well, for me, it's very difficult to define it in one word, but I would say love for me is everything. I yeah, because as you were saying, like there's like a Greek philosophy where they differentiate and divide love. Like they define, you don't need to go in the technical terms, but like they define love for family, that's different thing. Love for humanity is a different thing. Love for your own self, it's a different thing. Love for your own partner, your friends, it's different thing. And our life without love is nothing. So for me, love is everything. Yeah.
So yeah, of course, although there's a variety of love, so to speak. So it depends on who the one is that you love. So still, there's certain parameters that make us know if it's love or not. So one thing that definitely for me is a part of love is a sense of sacrifice. So you take care of the person or even your dog or cat to be fine, even beyond your yourself being fine, right? So even if you know, okay, this is harmful to me, but or I have to sacrifice something for the other side to be happy or to be fine, you would do that. And I think this is absolutely something that is love. So you give up something that might be important for you just for the other to be able to have something or to feel a certain way.
Yes. And I feel love is also about consistency.
Yeah.
It's not something, if I talk about love in a family, of course you're born in that family, that's why you have certain kind of connection and you have love. But if I talk love in society or love between you and your partner or your friend or even your neighbor, it's a consistent thing. It does not happen overnight. It's the small little things that you do.
Of course, and I think it's also like saying, okay, loving someone is to unconditionally invite the person to be in your presence.
Yes.
So, and I think it's very important to stress unconditional. So it's not like saying, okay, if you are a certain way, if you behave a certain way, and if you do certain things, then I love you. That's not love. So it's actually like saying, you are here, I take you, this being that you are, whether you're a cat, whether you're my father, whether you're my lover, I take you as you are, and you're fully invited to be in my presence. And I don't put like certain criteria on it, whether you're allowed to be in my life.
Yeah. And also with conditions, I think I agree that different people have different kind of love language, the way they express. Few things do things larger than life, and people may like it and they think that that's love. But personally, I feel love is in the small little things. Like if we take example of a, like a partner or even with both of us, in a friendship, even we have like the worst day. If I'm calling you and talking to about how
Mm.
miserable I was during the whole day.
Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
you had the most fantastic day in the, you know, in the whole year,
Mhm.
you'll pull back, you know.
Yeah.
You're
Mhm.
somebody who'll just like calmly listen to me
Mhm.
and, would not say,
Mhm.
oh, just forget that. You forget your
Mhm.
miseries. You know what? This
Mhm.
happened with me.
Mhm.
So these small little things
Yeah,
that
of course.
grows
Mhm.
into a beautiful relationship. And I guess
Mhm.
for me, that is love. Or,
Yeah.
somebody doing small little things, taking care of you,
Mm.
day to day life. That's more like love to me. What is your
Of
love
course. Yeah.
language?
No, absolutely. I think it's also when you talked about consistency, I also
Yeah,
see consistency in a different, also, of course, I agree with that part, but then there's
yeah,
also another part of being consistent for me also means behave as you speak. So one thing is,
yeah.
and some people are like so into, those uh, love confessions. I'm like, oh yeah, I love you to the moon and back, and then turns around and betrays you, for example. So
Yes,
it's like saying there's also this great song of more than words. So being consistent also in okay, if I speak a certain way, then I also behave a certain way. And this can, of course, only happen if you're honest. And I think honesty is a very vital part of love. So I
yeah,
think they totally go hand in hand because being honest and it's like the only way to even know maybe that you love someone. And also if you're dishonest, there's not a possibility to first of all for you to fully love someone from your side, but also for the other it makes it very difficult to love you if there are lies involved. So
anybody in love with any sort of relationship
mm,
should be their own true self, their true honest
yeah.
self. You cannot pretend to be something and then, expect to be loved.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's actually also a very bad idea to
Yeah,
pretend because, first of all, you will never be able to keep it up forever.
yes,
So you can play your role for a bit, but at some point, this is like the mask is gonna crack.
yeah,
First of all, second of all, I also feel like it's it does no good to you or the other because this just leads to disappointment.
yeah,
And I think it's also to realize, okay, we are all imperfect, okay, and that's why I think love is the thing that's very inclusive, right? So the
yes,
person is or like hardly like a nice person sometimes, and you're aware of you and also the others around you to be imperfect but still love them.
And I feel uh, in in order to love somebody else, like you said,
Hmm.
with all the flaws, with the pros and the cons, you first need to love your own self as well.
Mm-hmm.
What people
Absolutely.
nowadays forget is self love. That is so
Mm-hmm.
important. If you
Yeah.
don't even love your own self, if you don't like
Hmm.
yourself, how
Yeah.
you see yourself in the mirror, how can you expect
Hmm.
anybody else to love you?
And it's also the ability. I mean, if you're not able to love yourself, how can you make somebody else believe that you love them? I mean,
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah.
actually, yeah, because otherwise, if you have the ability to love, then you can love whatever because it's super easy to, for example, see a beautiful flower, totally flawless, and then love it, or to see some perfect piece of art and then to love it. That's super
Yeah.
easy. The I think it's when it's something is ugly and when something is maybe uncomfortable and you
Yeah.
love it. That's like
Yeah.
actually a proof of love because as I
Yeah.
said, like to love something beautiful and wonderful, it's super easy. Everybody can do that.
That's actually the definition of true love, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, because you look. I think you look beyond the visible. I think it's
Yeah.
something like also has a lot to do with imagination because one thing is what you see. So maybe somebody's smiling, and you see, okay, this person is happy, but when you look beneath the surface and maybe know that something's up. And I think this part of imagination with love is also very important when it comes to forgiveness, for example. So somebody might have behaved very badly, right? But you cut them some slack, so to speak. If you love somebody, you cut that person a slack. So you don't like stand there like blaming the person, but you try to use the imagination of, okay, what could have been all the possible reasons that the person has made that mistake, and not like pointing fingers, but like forgive it.
Yes. So I guess forgiveness is also a very important aspect of love.
Yeah, if somebody does not forgive you, you can be sure that the person does not love you yet. And what do you think about loyalty? Is that something?
Yes, it's super important if I personally see it. Because if you doubt somebody, if you doubt your own relationship, that is when you go outside. If there's something empty here, that is when you go outside to fill that emptiness. So I guess before seeking it outside, if it's like between partner, and you know what, I guess I've seen it as well. I've observed in a lot of people, and I try to learn and not do it ever in all of my relationships. If you have a problem with your partner or your friend, talk with them. Talk to everybody else except that person.
This would be also maybe a part of loyalty, of course, because if you do not talk to the person that is actually affected by the whole conflict, then the only thing that it does, it makes the conflict grow stronger, and you don't have any kind of clarity after that. It only you can only have to solve the problem, you would need to talk to the person and like actually like honestly just put everything to the table that is there to solve. And sometimes maybe there is no solution, but then at least you know it, and you can move on, like both of you or something. Not about like, if you love somebody, it doesn't have to be that you have you continue your relationship. You can also love somebody but love the person, let the person go. Or even with death, right? It does not make you stop loving someone just because the person or the animal or the plant has died. You still love the being.
Somebody said it to me once, that you really cannot unlove somebody, even if the person has hurt you, or the person is not there in your life right now, but was there in your life in some point in time and was very important. You really can't unlove. The level goes down a bit. That is what I believe. You just cannot unlove. Even if they say, oh, I hate the person, you get hurt because you love that person. And that's why I said love is everything for me. And I guess for a lot of them, because without love, there's no life. I mean, you need to love something, even if it is an object, animal, or a person. I can't even imagine a life without love, without that feeling.
Yes, of course, absolutely. And I think also because like love is also the truest form or the truest expression of kindness, I think. So of course, and I think like love actually should be the main religion, so to speak, that we live by, or the main policy, how I want to call it. Just because it has the power to actually save us. And I mean, I think that's the only thing that could save us as humans. Or so, and also, but we also, I think, see it when we have a lack of love. It's actually like emotional starvation, and people are much better at dealing with withdrawal of food than withdrawal of love. It actually makes them physically sick and
Yeah.
affects very much. So
Yeah.
you should show love whenever you can. Yeah.
Yes, and I guess listening to podcasts like this is a great reminder.
So we be very happy if our audience shared with us their parameters, how they define love, like what is important. You could just type in some keywords. Of course, maybe one that you paired here, but also something that we have not mentioned because, of course, it's super difficult to cover all of it in
Yeah.
a short time because I could go on the whole day talking about love. So uh,
Yes. Probably we can cover it in some other podcast in the future.
yes, definitely. So if you have further questions, definitely also comment them.
And share with your loved ones. Share this
Yes,
podcast.
yes.
So if you liked what you saw, do not forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the little bell icon so that you get notified the next time we upload a new video. Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.